Our Daughters, Yazhou女儿, the Asian Daughter. Written by Lori Ann Mathews. Narrated by Suzuki T. Prologue. Aaron walked near the water's edge trying to read the newspaper, which was difficult for two reasons. One, because it was raining from the approaching storm and the water was bleeding the print, and two, she wasn't wearing her reading glasses. The wind charged at her, attempting to rip the paper from her grip as she struggled to read the headlines. Presumptive Democratic presidential nominee Camille Harrington was chosen as the nominee for President of the United States, only the second woman in American history. She accepted with honor and is moving forward despite the untimely death of her beloved son, Abrams, known as the American Prince, along with Loren Roberts, his princess. So engrossed in reading what she could of the story, a wave she didn't see coming hit her, knocked her down, and enfolded her before she understood what was happening. Blinded, Erin gasped in dark water and tried to fight her way out even as the undertow pulled her down. Underneath the force of the swirling waves, a large hand clutched Erin by the back of the shirt and dragged her stumbling and retching back to shore, where she dropped heavily to her knees, spitting up more water as her heart galloped in her chest. Her head bent almost to the sand as she shivered from the cold and the storm around her. "Are you trying to kill yourself?" a voice screamed. Aaron turned and stared at Sam, who was soaked to the skin from his rescue, a panicked look of hysteria on his face. Aaron didn't say anything. She couldn't speak because she was suddenly crying and racking loud sobs as thunder bowled toward them across the ocean. Sam got to his feet, helped Aaron to hers, and pulled, almost dragged her off the beach, across the tarmac and onto the street as the rain arrived in a sheet drenching them both. The thunder and lightning came on seconds later. It exploded around them until they moved in a kaleidoscope of sound and fury. They ran the block back to their house. They lived in Hull, Massachusetts, where every neighborhood was a block away from the ocean. The sound of the pounding waves was constant background noise as the wind and rain thrashed against them, making speaking impossible. The streets were nearly deserted. Those few people who did pass them by didn't look their way. They were hurrying about their business, getting out of the weather. Sam turned them onto their road, a long dark alley with mostly gray slated houses on both sides, their windows lit from within by the flickering blue light of large flat-screen television sets. Their house was far down, number 8 on the right-hand side of the street. One window was lit, throwing muted light onto their small front porch. Sam quickly mounted the one step and pulled open the screen door, only to have it ripped out of his grasp by the wind. It smacked back against the wall hard enough to break from its moorings. Sam grabbed it with one hand while pushing Aaron through the unlocked inner door with the other, followed quickly behind before slamming the door closed on the frenzied outside world. They stood, catching their breath, cold water running off them in freshets, drenching the rug at their feet. He led Aaron by the hand into the living room, pushing aside the brown boxes strewn all over the place. This was their favorite place in the house, with its large windows and even more oversized fireplace. The room was filled with two of their favorite things, pictures and books, so many of the latter it would take half a day to count them all. Sam stood Aaron in front of the fireplace, already set with a roaring fire. "I'll get us some dry clothes," Sam said, and with his face suffused with worry, he left the room. When he returned carrying towels and dry clothes for Aaron, after quickly changing his own, he found her still standing in the same spot, shivering. Sam suspected it was not just from her bout with the storm-tossed ocean, but her grief due to Loren's death and sadness over Jesse. Even though the girls had been Aaron's nieces, the daughters of her sister Lillian, they had loved them both, having no children of their own, and Jesse had been their favorite. Aaron had loved Jesse like a daughter and taken the loss as if she'd been their baby. Sam helped his wife undress, towel off, and get into dry clothes. He then sat her on the couch. "I'm going to make us a couple of hot..."
Sample complete. Ready to continue?